Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here in the kids' ministry room at Lightning, and man, this Sunday was so amazing. We started our brand new series, Faith that Moves Mountains, and man, talking through our faith life, talking through what faith really looks like in our world is so man, so something we need to be talking about, because our faith level can go up and go down, but our God is always constant. And so we talk about the fact that the only way that we can even have faith in the first place is because of what God has done for us. He sent his only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. It's beautiful. To be able to experience that love that only can come from him. And so, we have faith because of what he has done for us and who he is and what he has accomplished upon the cross. And our faith is response to that grace, to that love, to what we have encountered and what we have seen. And so it's beautiful. So we talked about a man of God in the Word. His name was Gideon, and Gideon was a man that really did put his faith into action. But he had a lot of excuses. He had a lot of things that was holding him back from stepping in to the fullness of God. But I want to say this. It's not like it was years. It's not like it was months, but it was a moment. It was a moment. It was a moment where he doubted what God said. He was unsure about it. And so we talked about, how there was so many different, it was Gideon's official, my faith isn't strong enough excuse list. So we all have excuses. We all have reasons as to why that we can't step out and be bold in our faith and be bold in our expectations with God and be bold in even how we speak to mountains in our life and speak to situations and struggles and people and instances and things like that. It's so hard to just speak up and do what we know that we're called to do. We come up with so many excuses, and man, Gideon did the same thing, but it wasn't. But what I love about Gideon is it wasn't for years, it wasn't for months, it was a moment. And I believe that we can let things become a moment, or we can let things become months, years, decades, a lifetime. And the thing is I want my faith level to keep moving up and going forward. I don't want it to stay stagnant. I don't want it to go backwards. So some of the excuses was God's abandoned me. I think we've all felt that sometimes. We've all felt like God's left me, out here to dry. And the truth is that's not the truth. It's not who it is. God didn't leave you. You just stopped depending on him, I feel like a lot of us do that. God never steps a foot away from us, but sometimes we do stop depending on him. And so, man, God really hasn't given up on you. In Isaiah 41, I love this. In verse 10, it says, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand." He also said, I have to take care of my family. I have responsibilities. We so oftentimes let the struggle of life, the responsibilities of our life get in the way of our faith life, growing closer to God, growing closer to him. Man, trusting God is how you truly actually take care of your family. God, I think that one of the other excuses was him saying God, there's no way that you really want to use me. There's no way that I could really do this thing. And the truth is God doesn't choose losers. God chooses who he chooses for the work of his hand. And anybody that's watching this video, you need to know God has chosen you. You have the choice to respond to that free gift of grace that has been given to you. You have the okay to respond in faith and say, I want that. I need that. I want that grace. I want what's available for me. And so another one is I've never done this before. Yeah, a lot of us have never done this before, but it takes that first step and then see what God does and see what God's up to. The last one was man, I can't do this. But the truth is, man, you might think you can't, but God says that you can. So what can't you do if God says that you can do it? And so I love that Gideon said a resounding yes and went and did what God called him to do. If he didn't say yes, that means he probably would have said no. And okay, I got cut off, but hey, the last thing I want to end on is this. We are the mountain movers. We speak to the mountain. And we say that there is nothing that stands in the way of what God has said and what God has declared. And so let's live that way. All right, I love you guys. Bye.